This video is part 2 of the Preparing Microsoft Word Content series. In the last video, we looked at using content that was very simple. It had a couple pictures in it and a couple lines of text. And we talked about controlling the fonts and the image resolution. But what if you have something more complex that you'd like to upload? For instance, take a look at this text document here. I've got a bulleted list of paragraphs with a lot of black text, and I have a green heading. Our storefront products can handle and take in Microsoft Word files like this. What it's going to do in this case is it's going to take this 8.5 by 11 oversized document, and it's going to shrink it down to fit inside the smaller panel on our note card and invitation product. So let's go ahead and upload this file and see how it looks on the storefront. I'm just going to upload it. Here's the file. We're going to open, hit OK, and then update preview. So you can see that Microsoft Word file flowed nicely into this smaller panel area of the invitation product. Let's hit the full-size preview and get a closer look at it. Here's the full-size preview. We can scroll down to panel 3, and you'll see that I've still got my bulleted list. I've got my indentation happening here on the left, where the text is all indented and lined up with itself for the left margin. And then I've also got my text line breaks on the right, which means that this sentence here has reached the right-hand side and has broken and continued down on the next line. That all has flowed in nicely too into my new panel. So let's do a little tweaking to this to make it look exactly like we want. One thing that I'd like to fix is that this space between the paragraphs and the bullet is too great. I want to move the paragraphs over to the left a little bit. So what we need to go do is change it in Microsoft Word. So back in Microsoft Word, I can tell you that I established these initial bullets and the indentations and all that using the automatic bulleting in Microsoft Word. If you know about automatic bulleting, you know that if you select some paragraphs of text and go down to the bullets window, you can simply select a bullet to use and it will do all your indenting for you. So I started out when I designed this with no bullets like this. I created the bullets by selecting bullets, selecting my green square bullet, and then I adjusted my margins a little bit. But what I need to do now is move these paragraphs over to the left to be closer to the bullets. The way you do that is by adjusting these little arrows on the ruler. If you can't see your ruler and you're using Word 2007, go to the View tab and click the ruler checkbox to show the ruler. A lot of people are apprehensive about using these little controls here because they seem to be hard to understand. But I can show you how to use them to tweak your margins a little bit. So right now I have 3 paragraphs. You can see by the 3 bullets. Each one has a first line and then continuation lines going down underneath that. All of those are currently being controlled by the position of this little hanging indent arrow right here. If I hover my mouse over it, it says hanging indent, so I know which one it is. I can simply grab that with my paragraph text all selected and drag it over to the left and shrink up that margin a little bit. Now all I need to do is save the document and re-upload it to the storefront in order to get that change on the storefront product. So we go to upload a file. We're going to find that same file that we uploaded originally, but now a new version has been saved over the top of it. And when we update our preview, we should see this huge space in there decrease because of our new hanging indent position. So we hit update preview. So here you see that what looked like a ½ inch of white space originally has now been shrunk way down to what looks like less than ¼ inch. Let's look at the full-size preview again. Here's our updated full-size preview, and we can see our smaller margin in there. But now that we've talked about adjusting the left-hand margin, let's talk about what's happening on the right side of the text here. Our Microsoft Word file was 8.5 by 11, and it was a tall document, like a portrait style. This product on the storefront is much smaller. It's only about 4 by 6, and it's more of a horizontal landscape orientation. So a lot of the text on the right here is being broken in different places than it was in Microsoft Word. My advice to you is to look over the new line breaks on the right, the new text flow that's happening in our storefront, and see if you can live with it. It usually does a pretty good job as long as you've set up your paragraphs and indentations properly. But once in a while you might see something that you feel like you just have to change. For instance, this web address right here would be much better served on the same line, because web addresses usually shouldn't be split over 2 lines. So the way we can fix this is by going back into Microsoft Word, putting our cursor right here where we want to put our line break, and then doing a soft line break. We don't want to put in just a regular enter on the keyboard and start a new paragraph, which would cause us to get a new bullet. We just want to hold down Shift and hit enter on the keyboard, which puts in a soft line break without creating a new paragraph. I'll show you what I mean back in Microsoft Word here. Okay, so right here is where we want to put that line break. It might look confusing to see that this is already starting out on its own line in Microsoft Word, but that's just an illusion, because all this text is going to reflow a little bit to fit inside that different sized panel on the storefront. So what we need to do is go right in here and hold down Shift on our keyboard with our cursor at the place we want to add the line break, hold down Shift and hit enter on the keyboard. It's not going to look any different, but it is effectively putting in a physical soft line break at that point. Now when we save and upload our file, we'll see that this emish right here web address is on its own line. So let's go ahead and do that. Upload file, browse, select the file, hit open, hit OK, and then update the preview. Here's our new preview. We should get the full-size preview in order to really zoom in and see what we've got. Here it is, and now we see that this line is terminating at the word visit. It's starting up again here with the web address on the next line, because we put a soft return in there, a line break, which is done by Shift Enter on the keyboard. Those are the 2 main things that I wanted to show you in this video. The last thing that I could show you, and if you're not interested you can just stop the video now, is the fact that these bullets were green in Microsoft Word but they changed to black on the storefront. That's a result of using the automatic bulleting in Microsoft Word. The way to fix that is to not use automatic bulleting and to manually create these bullets as green symbols. So if you're interested in seeing that, watch on and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go back into Microsoft Word and we're going to get rid of our automatic bulleting. So we're going to select our text that we want to alter, right click on it, click on bullets and select none, and now our automatic bulleting is gone. To manually create the bullets, we need to insert our cursor where we want to put a bullet and then go to the Insert tab and go to Symbol. And we're going to go to More Symbols now. We're going to find a little box symbol to enter there as a bullet. It's really important that you have the right font selected when you're in this window, because by default sometimes it can come up as normal text or Arial or Helvetica or something like that. You want to go down and select your symbol font, which is called Wingdings on most computers. And there's a whole library of nice symbols that you can use in here. So we're just going to scroll down until we find this large box. Be aware that there's also a small box somewhere else in this list. This one right here is the small one. It's too small for me. So I'm going to go with the big box because I want a prominent bullet in there. So we select the box and we just hit Insert. And you'll see right up here that it has inserted the character, the special character, the symbol, right in the place that we want the bullet. Now what we need to do is insert a tab. So we space over the first line of text. So we just hit tab on the keyboard and there we go. Next what we need to do is make the symbol green. So we just highlight it and go to the Home tab and the Text Color tool and make it green. Now it's starting to look like what we started with originally, except we're manually creating the bullets instead of using automatic bulleting. Now since we need 3 bullets, we're just going to have this bullet and the tab selected and copy and paste it into the beginning of the other paragraphs. Like this. Okay, now we've manually created our bullets. Now we need to adjust that left indent again to make those extra lines of text line up with the first line of text. So to do that, we highlight our text, we grab our hanging indent tool, and we simply drag it over like this to recreate our bullets manually. So again, the reason we're doing this is because With the automatic bullets, we lost the bullet color on the storefront. So to get that green color, we've got to manually create the bullets. We just walked through that, and now we're going to save it and upload it and look at the preview. Selecting the new file, uploading it, and now refreshing the preview. So these black bullets should turn green in the new preview. And there we go. Now we have our green bullets. We should look at our full-size preview again and double check all of our indents, our line breaks, our emish is still correctly starting on a new line like we wanted. This email address right here is broken over 2 lines, so we should probably go back into Word and add a soft line break in right here in order to get this email address down onto a line by itself. So those are the 3 main things I wanted to show you in this video. I hope that it helps you achieve your goals when using Microsoft Word to prepare content for our storefront products. Thanks for watching.